today I thought it would be fun to learn about the rings inside of a tree. Who's ever looked at the inside of a tree before? Yeah? You've seen the inside? Who's seen the rings in the inside of the tree before? Yeah? Does anybody know what they mean? You know what they mean? Let me see, wait. Scarlett, what do they mean? It's telling you how old they are, but you can also tell other things about it too. Who knows what else you can tell about it? Junior, do you know what else?
It got a stone on it.
You can tell a lot of things on it. See how some of them are small and some of them are bigger?
Yeah.
When they're small rings, that means that year they didn't get very much water. But if they're big, that means they had so much water that year. What do you have? What's that? The very middle of the tree is hard. That's so smart. Okay, I'm going to see the next one. So, we said, what are the tree rings? So you can find the tree rings on the inside of the tree. That's a big tree. And you see that guy? He is counting, trying to see how long the tree has been alive. Did you know that trees can live for thousands of years? The longest living tree in the whole wide world is 5,000 years old.
5,000 years. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a hero.
And people can know how old it is because they check the rings. And they see how old it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It has no little
I know.
And they go get older and
So,
older and older.
each year, like we said, the tree adds another ring to its side and the new growth becomes the ring.
That was old.
So you see how there's so many rings here? I'm going to count them really quick and we can see how long this tree's supposed to be. Say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this picture is supposed to be a tree that is 14 years old. That's older than you guys.
Boys and girls.
So why do you think it's important to read tree rings? Gianna? Know where to cut the tree? Know when? Maybe. What do you think?
To count the rings to see how old it is.
To see how old it is, yeah. So why we would read the tree is not only to see how old it is, but to see maybe, say the tree's in a big rainforest. And they want to know how much rain the tree gets. They want to know if there's bugs that eat the tree. And they want to know just how the environment is affecting the tree. And so that's why they read the rings, is so that they can see more than just how old it is. So look, see how over here this one has a big, thick ring? That means that year they had lots of rain. And then the drier seasons are those tiny ones. And if it has a dark spot, that means there was a fire. And that the tree has rehealed. And if you see the light lines, how they're lighter, when they're bigger and lighter, that means it grew in early spring and summer. And when they're smaller and darker lines, those are from late summer and early fall. And then winters, it goes dormant and doesn't grow. What's that? If there's a bug on the tree, you get it? Yeah, sometimes I heard about the ones, the flying lantern flies last year were bad.
What? Yeah, they are red.
Yeah, so this is like a drawing of the tree, and this is a real life. And they're tree rings, but sometimes they call it tree cookies because it looks like a little cookie like this.
That's not a cookie.
Huh? Lantern flies eat a type of bug.
No.
No, Would they eat trees?
Ew.
Okay, so who do you think breeds trees? Who do we think breeds trees? What do you think? The branches and the leaves. Yeah. So who reads it? It's called a dendrochronologist. That's a big word. That's the name of the scientist that reads the rings of the tree and learns everything about the tree. Yeah, okay. It's dendrochronologists. That's a very big word. Look at all those letters.
Oh my God. I can't even read that fast.
You'll get it one day.
What about tomorrow?
Okay, and then how do they read it? Do we know how they read it? No? Jameer, do you have something to say?
I know how to read it.
How?
Scientists.
Yeah, scientists do read it. It's the dendrochronologist is the type of science. So they can either look, say if there's a tree stump, they can look at the tree stump, or they have this tool that they put in the tree and it's like this long rod. And when they put it in, it pulls out a small piece of the tree so that they can read how many rings are on it. And see all the holes in this tree is where they would have put it. And then they put it under a microscope and they count and they see everything that they can learn about the tree. So, I have a fun activity for us to do. And I want you to think, if you were a tree, how many rings would you have?
15.
No, if you were a tree, how old are you?
100.
No, for real.
100.
You're 6?
Being serious. She's
I know.
Think about it.
So if you're 6, if you're 6, that means you're gonna have 6 rings. And we have to think when we draw it, if we want it to be big and wide, that means you got a lot of water that year. But if you want them small and little, that means you didn't get much water that year. Yep, if you have 5. Okay, so I have 3. I'm about to hand out a paper where we will draw our picture. And you can use crowns to do it. And down here it says, if I were a tree, I would have blank rings. So you have to think how old you are and how many rings that means you're going to have, okay? And then you'll color it. You'll color it on here, just like I did. See? And I know it's from the picture. I took a picture of it. You can still do it. I know, I did one with 16 on here. No, I'm 25. I didn't want to do 25 of them. Okay, and then I have some materials that you can look at if you need a reminder of why there's rings, okay?
So please take out your pencil to write your name on your paper, and yes, you will need your crayon.
And I have these books that I made, and it's all the pictures I just showed you are in these books, and I'm going to put it at the table, and you're going to share with your table, okay? Okay. Here's your shared book. What's up?
How old are you? So you're gonna do how many rings? Drennan, how many rings in your tree?
You all can look at it and share it. They are real, and I have one for everybody. Look at this again. You have a book, and here you can keep this. There you go. I have some pieces where you can look and you can keep them. It is real. It's for you. And here's the book you guys can share.
Jeremy, I'm ready to pass out some slides. How many rings in your tree?
Oh my God.
There you go. So how many rings are you going to draw? Jeremy.
This is real. Yes.
How
What is it? Can I feel it? Yeah. It's dry. No. What is dry?
Blank rings, because that's how old you book that you guys
Should I sharpen it? No. Hey,
Here's the book you guys
Like the one like this. You can use different colors. Ariana, how many times are going to be in your tree slide?
And here is the book for you guys. I guess that it's for you guys to share. And here is some tree rings that you can look at. There you go, and you can keep them.
Are they real?
Yep, they're real.
I can't believe it. Gio just told me that. Extra careful.
Yeah, go look at it.
Don't break it. Is this a real tree?
It's part of a real tree, yeah. Go sit down and draw.
I should look it. I know, but when I cut it, I'm not going to know this is
Look at it for inspiration.
If you want.
If you want. You guys are going to share those. I'll put extra on the table with 5. I'll put extra for the table with 5.
I found this on the floor and I don't know who this is.
Oh, okay. Is somebody around you with this one? I'll put it over here.
You cannot keep a desk to your home.
Look at how your rings when you draw them. They need to look. Okay. What's the direction?
I wonder how many. Probably a lot. That's a good idea.
Well, this tree is 12 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
I counted. This tree is 12 years old. I counted all the rings.
Some of them are so hard to count, aren't they? Because there's so many. Yeah.
This is 12. I counted all. They're all. I think all of them are 12 years old.
I know, I guess it can get different
This
numbers.
looks like a fake tree.
It is an example or a model.
Wow. It is a real tree. I know, but it looks fake. It looks fake.
So on the bottom is I.
This tree looks fake.
It's
12 years old.
Don't forget to answer your question on the bottom. It says, if I were I would have blank rings. How many rings?
I'm gonna look at the book. Whoa. There's a big tree again.
Are you going to spell that?
There's that big tree again. I know mine's 12 years old too.
Are you going to color it too? Like a rainbow?
One of them with 6 rings.
Oh my gosh. This tree is
Number 16. 6 rings.
years old. No, mine's 12. Mine's 17. I mean, mine's 20. Mine's 13. Mine's 17. That's guys, I wonder if we put all our trees together. What they do? My name's 30.
see the form. Yeah. That's so awesome. How many rings?
I'm making a big tree stand.
How many are you gonna make total?
Mine had 20. No. Christopher wants to be on the bottom. Christopher's tree is the longest. No, my other side. Okay, you got one more chance. Look at the other side of it. No. Crazy. Now, look at the other side of mine. Look at mine.
She's trying to find out. The environment.
The camera.
You look like you have some big thick lines in there. That means you have lots of water.
Inside of a tree is a large. The outside of the tree is gonna get larger. The inside is blue. Hey, my brother's just like a tree.
Yours is tiny small lines. That means you don't get much water.
Look, mine's round like a tree. Hey,
I like
mine is so big. Yes, mine's big too, you know. Let me write this one. Sure, this is real. Yeah, this one. Okay, so big. No, this one's mine. No, mine didn't.
I see table 1 working quietly. Table 2, nice job.
Last name.
Table 4, nice job.
You notice what are you doing about your
Okay, it's so good.
That's what I told you they call them pasties because they like
I know. Taste it.
Look, there's so many rings. Some of them are really thin. That means they must have not got very much water, huh?
I can do it.
Because if the tree doesn't get a lot of water, it can't grow.
2. I can smell
3.
It's right there in the grandma.
I like yours. Don't forget to answer the question. It says, if I were a tree, I would have how many rings?
6.
High five. You can.
That's right. What did
Everybody can. Awesome. You're all done? Wow, that's awesome. Some of these look like some pretty thick rings. You counted them. That's awesome. It must have been 17 years old.
On the back.
Does anybody want to?
Yeah, you can waste some. You can waste a pencil. No, you can waste a pencil.
Maybe one.
Super hard. No, I Where's my green crayon? I just
I know some of them.
I did not know what to do.
Oh, I see it. Go sit down. their picture, looking at the tree cookies. Jameer, what did you notice?
I did this.
You did that. It's very awesome. How many rings did you put?
6.
You put 6? Are they thin or are they big?
Big.
They're big? What does that mean?
Big means I got a big tree.
You got a big tree and maybe lots and lots of what?
Look at that. Colors.
Water! Lots and lots of rain. Lots of rain if they're thick and big. Did anybody?
I put a lot of water in there.
Awesome. Did anybody else notice anything about their tree rings? Gianna? How many do you have? You made 15. Sounds like a very old tree. That sounds like an old tree. I see you have a lot of circles. Do you want to tell anybody about how many you made? How many tree cookies did you make?
I made 9.
You made 9. Do they all have the same amount of rings on the inside? They're all different. It's very nice. And you made 7? Did anybody notice anything about the actual tree cookies? The tree cookies? I remember Christopher told me something. Christopher, do you want to tell me how many rings yours had?
17.
Yours had 17. He counted all of the rings on the small one. Did anybody else count them?
Nope.
You guys counted them too?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank y'all
You're welcome.
for doing my science activity, and I hope you guys had fun.